Oh, no, you have to replace the toast or like? Or
Yeah,
they
it's fine to do that now, but yeah, we gotta replace it.
Are they paying for it or you have modern? Modern,
Well, it's still.
Yeah, this is paying kind of irritating, like, why do you need to have meetings on that, like, that's the choice, replace it.
Well, I know, but the other thing is, we have to deal with modern, but they'll help repair them, replace them, and stuff, but we have an inventory store here at the highway department. We're just getting some people want the big totes.
Right.
And they want a second tote, and we're just getting them delivered out. And people aren't very patient, they don't realize we're up on stuff.
You the only one here, Paul?
I got that, yeah.
I guess I'm it. I better have a lot to talk about.
Oh, please don't
I
talk
said,
about it.
Paul's the only one here.
I'm dedicated.
I said, we just had a meeting the other day.
No, I know, but, no.
How you feeling with weather?
Alright. Not bad. Well, I was talking to my Mac salesman today. He tells me 2027 they're redoing trucks again for new emissions. Really? He said originally they were looking at a price tag of $30,000 more. But he thinks they're gonna keep it down to like 54.
Sign off.
He said now they gotta run a 24 volt.
How you doing?
Oh, there you go. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Because
I'm
the
doing all
motor
right.
doesn't get hot enough
Tim,
to burn the exhaust filter.
it's been a little while.
Really?
Yeah,
So we got
yeah,
some electric heater on it.
hanging in there.
So the exhaust is unbelievable.
I sent both of you guys, by the way, well, I sent ours. Those first lots in, meet for crossing.
Yeah.
We gotta do surveys to show how they're gonna grade their sites.
We're building a house in the water.
There's one of them that is all set, but I've got like 3 or 4 other ones sent to me. I just sent, returned back to Brian comments on those today. One of them, they have a driveway coming out right around the catch basin in the street. I'm like, you're not gonna take out a curb and gutter frame and grate from the driveway, you're gonna move the driveway. There's other ones where they have a sanitary clean out or a water valve that's in the driveway, I'm like, you gotta move the driveway.
Yeah, they should know that.
So, but I.
We were all there.
It was a good
So
day.
I'll keep you these drawings, like Captain. I just started related to the Surfansky.
Yeah, that's fine, because we've been in touch with each other. Right.
I was at the last one.
I mean, at least they start to show them on the survey, you know, where those things are, but I'm like, when you're still showing driveway on top of it.
Because we said, we don't care what, as long as the water and the sewer is not in the drive, underneath the drive together.
Right.
Then we're fine.
He sent me one today that didn't respond on, like, it's weird, like, if you're a side edge from the driveway, I think you're like, one-on-one.
Should be.
Because of that stipulation, that you have to review these as they're graded. Like, it's gonna be difficult to grade something, you come for building.
But I mean, something as simple as a fucking driveway.
No, I know,
or a
that's what I
catch
figured,
basin,
pipe
they can't
there.
cut that out.
We just get so many and it's like.
I mean,
See it, right?
Why do that when I'm?
yeah, well, we gotta pay you more money, right? You're already paying 3 of them down, well, 2 of them, the one's retired. Is he retired for service time, or is he gonna retire again?
He was here the other day, and I.
That was his retirement party, second retirement.
But I just wanna let you know, I copied you when I sent those back, and
Yeah, they called up and started bitching, you guys gotta plow that, we can't get in there. I mean, that snow was that deep. Cause I told my guys, you don't have to hit it every time, there's nobody living back there, just keep it open. Well, because I didn't specifically say you should hit it this time, he just kept driving by it. I go, when you seen snow like that, don't you think you should have pulled in there and done something?
It's only gonna get worse. Right?
Yeah.
You might as well put it out when you get the chance. Don't prioritize it at midnight when you're out.
Right.
During the day or so.
Yeah, the gas company or somebody called me, they're like, we can't see you can get in there, you guys,
Yeah.
can you guys plow it?
Because they do
Has it been approved? I go, yeah, it's been approved, but I said, There's no houses in there, they ain't being sold in there. Yeah, but they ain't gonna know.
Yeah, really, no. The roads are.
Yeah, well, we didn't salt for a week. I've seen people come to salt. You don't feel it. It's a traffic that's more than salt.
Just
Mush it up. So the first time they salted was Sunday morning when I was 7:00 in the morning. First time they salted in over a week. And they cleaned it, a lot of them cleaned right up.
Yeah.
Still folks still use it, they don't get the traffic. You know, little side
Back
streets.
streets.
They're not going fast enough. But, you know.
Yeah. They'll just go slow, not like you.
I had a lot of people,
Hi.
I had a lot of people that told me to leave on that.
Yeah.
They're like, we live right now, so. You know, if I get away with it, I wouldn't have a problem about putting sand or salt on it.
Yeah.
Side street and stuff. It would save me a lot.
You guys hear me in the back?
Huh?
You hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Welcome to our February 2nd, 2026 town board meeting. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we pray you grant wisdom to all who are in authority, that order and justice may be upheld for the benefit of all citizens, and guide us to better serve the people of our community. Restrain those who seek to destroy our government. We ask your divine wisdom to rest upon our leaders, to guide them and protect them. Amen.
For the record, Councilman Doctor is all others are. And any public input, we don't have public, so that's good. Approval of bill payments, February 2nd, 2026, voucher number 202600001 to voucher number 202600029, for the total amount of $226,432.17. Motion. Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried, okay. Department heads, call.
There ain't many people here, so I got all kinds of time.
Yeah, that makes me warm and fuzzy.
I do
Calm
have,
down.
what?
Calm down, Mr. Swan.
You can hear me. You can't hear my big mouth, there's something going on.
Well, that's good, I can't hear it.
I do have 5 things from, one up on Auctions International. I don't know if you wanna do that during your regular meeting, or if you want me to give you the things now.
Either way. Just do it now, Paul.
Okay, Ford, 2008 Ford truck, $7,800. Take it and run. Our old crack sealer, $1,825. Sounds good to me. Asphalt blocks that never worked in a crack sealer, $520. 1-ton salter, $360. Not a lot of money, but I see them laying everywhere. There's not much market for them little salters. I don't know why.
What is a one-ton salter?
Goes in the back of one of like a pickup truck, stainless steel salter. We just did the market for them, and this one's getting pretty old.
What was your estimated cost?
You're
Now, what did they,
$360. Probably scrap.
do you wanna sell it?
Yeah. It doesn't mean no good to leave it around. And like I said, if it sits, because it was a salter, the chains and everything get all messed up on it, I think we're pretty good with it. We've tried selling them before, and you just don't get a lot of money in the secondary market.
Maybe it just seems so little for a stainless steel salter.
I know, but they're a dime a dozen.
You wanna reserve that?
I just soon get rid of it. I don't like stuff sitting around.
What's your problem?
And then we had some old Great All buckets for our old Great All that we were hoping to use on our new Great All, but we found out that we can't. basically, I think they were scrap, $260. That's more than what we would get for scrap, so.
Make a motion to allow Paul to sell those to auction municipal. Second. Have a motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Will you give that information to Kathy?
Yes, I will. Two other things. We were running low on salt. There's all kinds of salt at the mine, we were told. The problem is trucking it. They can't get enough truck drivers to haul it, everybody's looking for it. But we do have supposedly 500 tons coming in this Wednesday. We're supposed to have it to you the third day after ordering it, which would have been Wednesday last week, but they're a week behind. We still got the salt in the barn. We didn't use a lot this last week because it was so cold it didn't do any good to put it down. But I don't know why every year it's a big deal about salt. The other thing is, who enforces our rules about garbage cans? Like picking up, like I know they're not supposed to be out till the night before garbage, and they're supposed to be picked up the day of garbage, you know, like the residents.
No.
Who's supposed, I mean, I can't write tickets. Who's
I don't, to be honest with you, Paul, I don't know how to answer that, but it's one of the things we're doing is modifying our law to have constables issuing tickets for people that are dumping garbage illegally. Maybe we can add that as people are putting it out prior to when it should be placed in the road.
Well, that currently isn't in our code.
Yeah.
Well, it can be enforced, I think right now, according to our code enforcement. The way we're changing the law, and right now, some changes are with Dawn Tim, she's helping with my done stuff. But we are changing it that constables can write tickets too, and that will apply for the same thing, putting it on a consumer, not taking it in.
And where that would make sense, Paul, is that we have constables that go out on security checks at night, out of condos, different locations, aggressive checks. There's no reason why our constables then can't issue tickets to people that are putting their garbage out way too soon or not bringing it in.
And our other issue is, this is unrelated to the garbage, but if you're making up laws and what constables can do, these guys, these plow jockeys that are pushing all the snow across the street, especially in cul-de-sacs, they're filling up the cul-de-sacs. My trucks can't push snow around it because now the cul-de-sacs are full. So we gotta go around with a loader, push all the snow out, 65 cul-de-sacs, 66, somewhere in there. It's a never-ending job. So this stuff with these guys plowing across the streets, and then the worst is, they're plowing across the street, and then our plow comes along, hits that pile of snow and dumps it in their neighbor across the street in their driveway, and then they're calling up, screaming at us. I mean, there is a law about no plowing across streets, and when I catch them, I stop and yell at them. But, I mean, it's just never ending. And most winters, not a big deal, but this winter, we got a lot of snow, we got a lot of complaints about it.
Yeah, it is in our code that you're not supposed to put your snow in the street.
It's actually state law, I believe.
Yeah, no, state law,
But
and in our code.
Again, it's all down to enforcement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if the cops are out and they see these guys doing it, they don't have to give them a ticket right away, but they should be advising them that they can't do it. It's just gotten out of hand.
Well, Nancy, when you and I talked, we went along and talked about what the constables have some responsibility to issue tickets.
Yeah, 'cause they do a good job going after the people parking on the roads. I mean, we still have a lot of people doing that. We just had a car towed last week because it was sitting there for 4 days. I think he had a pile of tickets on his window and everything. It didn't matter. They just don't care.
But I think we modify, we have guys out just about every night, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So if there's anything for people taking, leaving back there, their cans out too early or leaving out too long, there's no reason why we can't keep the ticket.
Exactly. I didn't even realize it. Some of my guys were saying, well, didn't you know over here this guy never brings it in? He just carries the bag out to the thing and throws it in there. He did that when he had his own garbage can.
And I believe,
So
nothing surprises me anymore.
I never realized garbage was such a big deal in this town until the last month.
I don't know if you saw the one on Nash Road where he had his new toad out and the garbage bag stacked on top of it. A new right way.
Well, I tell you, this isn't nothing new, because my secretary lives in Niagara Falls, and they have a different garbage company. And they are very strict. If your garbage can isn't the way it's supposed to be, they drive right by it. If you got it backwards and It says this side to the road. I don't understand why.
Our Wakefield people is spoiled for many, many years. They throw anything and everything out to the road. Those days are changing.
Yeah.
Cost.
So, and like I said, it ain't just here. She lives in the falls, she says Casella. If it isn't turned the right way, or if the lid is even open a little bit, they're not picking it up. That's all I got.
Thanks, Mark.
Besides my loader, after.
Mark Clark is on personal, and so is Michael Howley. Is here. Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm just filling in for Mark, he's telling me to kind of give everybody an update on, we've been busy on the side of the snow that falls, but we've kind of been dealing with the same issues, shoveling out a lot of hydrants that have been buried, and trying to keep those as open as possible, which has been a challenge with the wind and blowing back in, but I think we've got pretty much, you might see a few here and there blown back in, but we're working the best we can, our people are calling, we've been rushing out there, clearing them out.
I see the guys out there shoveling.
Yeah, that's all you can do. We had the backhoe out a little bit, but Nash Road down by the Lockport Road was real bad, pushing it back. Just hand shoveling. We had a couple water main breaks, Shawnee Road, that was kind of Friday night, we were till 8 or 9 o'clock, just dealing with the weather and the traffic. Keeper Drive extension, we had a leak that we fixed as well. Pressure sewer leaks, and grinder tanks, so the sewer problem has just been a challenge, digging down to get to them. But the people have been working with us, and we've been keeping up with it the best we can. The work orders from 2025 on the sewer side of things, and 395 work orders on the water side. So we've been busy. We've been busy, but it is what it is with the weather and the cold. So nice the guys have been out in 0 degrees on the river fixing some big sewer, but we're getting things done a little bit low.
You guys do a great job. And following one of the, I can make it part of my report, but, your highway department's done a tremendous job too, as well as recreation, taking care of our parking lots. You guys, thank you, job, and I know you're out there nonstop.
Hopefully better weather's to come, but
Yeah, I hope so.
this week might be a little bit of a relief. That's all I got.
All right, thanks. Anybody, anything? Good job, Bill. We made that to Mark also. Ellie, what do you got?
Okay, so I received a phone call, citizens calling my office asking questions about exemptions and everything, but they did want me to
Well,
have,
maybe they're put like a little bit closer to you, I'll find out.
I had a resident call about questions on their exemptions or the tax bill, and somebody wanted to make sure that I told you guys at the meeting that they really appreciate the holiday decorations on Whitmerland Boulevard. Obviously Kurt would want to hear this, but he's not here, but I'm doing what they asked. My other things that I have is taxable status date is March 1st, so anybody that has exemptions, agricultural exemptions, the seniors with limited discounts, anybody who wants to apply for new veterans or they have a higher disability rating, all have to be in my office by March 1st. The veterans exemption that we talked about at the last meeting is not going to take effect until October of this year, so it would not mean anything for this year coming up. It's not, we don't have all the information, we don't have any forms, nothing until October. So like I'm telling the veterans, Melanie and I did send out a notice to all the veterans that have 100% disability saying that you have to have all of these to qualify. They still have a ton of questions on it.
If you had many veterans call you or contact you?
Yes, a lot. But what we're trying to tell them is that it's not taking effect until next year. Let us get more information, and since they received the letter from us, obviously they're on our list. So anything new and any updates that we get, we will send them out something more. And then when the exemption form comes in, we will send them out to everybody. and tell them what we would expect that they would have to prove to us, and then we'll go from there. But if you hear anybody talk about it, it doesn't mean anything until October. So, okay, but if you know anybody, exemption is by March 1st.
Anything else? Anybody else? Thank you, Kelly. Anything from the constables tonight?
I don't believe so. That might be more Dan and Bob question.
Zuber, nothing to share.
Good evening, everyone. We have a few things on our agenda this evening. The first thing is our planning board report. This is covering a couple meetings because it's been a while since we've done this. The first meeting was December 17th that this is covering. That was a public hearing, special use permit and site plan for an automotive storage building, 48 by 56 pole barn at the existing repair shop at 2047 River Road. Partial was zoned commercial. Planning board held a public hearing and there were no comments received. Planning board then determined it was a type 2 action under seeker, no further environmental review was required. They then issued a negative declaration under seeker, issued the special use permit, and approved the site plan with no conditions. That was all for the December 17th meeting. Next one was January 7th. The first item was a sketch plan for the Bunny Bunch Daycare addition. The applicant proposed to construct a 6,300 square foot addition to the existing building at 7334 Town Line Road. Site zone industrial. Planning board directed the applicant to the town site plan review checklist and guidance and recommended they begin investigation for presence of wetlands early in the site plan approval process. You'll hear that a lot because now everybody has to go through this 90-day determination with the DEC. We just tell everybody when they very first come and do it now so it doesn't have to be later. Anyways, the planning board also discussed that since the parcel is landlocked and not served by a public road, it's actually served by an access easement through a driveway, that their water service has to be updated and provided directly from the public water main on Town Line Road via permanent easement. The applicant to verify if sprinklers will be required, as that will also govern the size and complexity of their new water service. Planning board discussed several other items, including parking, creating drainage, access to doors around the building, connectivity to the existing building, and Niagara County Planning Board / Town of Pendleton referral. No action was required or taken.
Tim, can I interrupt a second? This Bunny Bunch. Whereabouts on Town Line Road?
It's right, it's like right in the back side of Timber Lakes, actually. Like the backyards back up to each other. Kind of where the railroad crosses, the old railroad right away.
My question, do you remember the project that was proposed on Iron Falls Boulevard, where the bridge was not adequate, and they were getting a grant to,
That take care of
right near Clanger, down where that area? Was that Bunny Bunch, or was that a different name?
No, that was called like Child's Creative Development Center or something.
Just ask that.
They had site plan approval from the planning board several years ago. I think they actually started a couple years ago, started clearing land, grading, and then they stopped because they were trying to figure
They
out.
stopped last year, and they were going to put a bridge in. Supposedly they had funding, when that was the last I heard something. I don't know. Oh, okay.
It's one of those ones that started, it's basically at the point now that they would probably have to come back to the planning board because it's been years since their approval, and they would have to get reapproved because it's expired. We'll let you know when that one comes in. The next item was the sketch plan for the Eric Road subdivision. The applicant, as you all know, proposes to construct a conservation cluster subdivision on several lots south of the intersection of Eric and Nash. The cluster proposes 139 single-family cluster lots, where 152 lots would be allowed under the underlying zoning for standard subdivision. The project had a pre-submittal conference with the town board, and the town board referred the sketch plan to the planning board with comments. The planning board reviewed the items required for cluster sketch plan review and discussed several items with the applicant that required further explanation and were detailed prior to the planning board making recommendations to the town board. The planning board reviewed updated drawings showing areas, frontages, a pump station, and 2 mailbox clusters. The Drainage report was also submitted, but the planning board and town engineer did not have sufficient time to review the material due to the holidays. I think they submitted that Christmas Eve. So the project was tabled for a future meeting. No action was taken. The last item on that agenda was a site plan for Comfort Plastics addition. They proposed to construct a 27,000 square foot addition to their existing building at 2107 Liberty Drive. Site is zoned industrial and is in the airport potential impact area. The addition would be to provide additional storage of plastic products at the facility. There's no manufacturing at the site, just storage. The addition would be in an area of the site that is currently paved for loading dock access. They don't need loading docks anymore, so they want to put a building in its place. Planning board discussed items such as fire advisory board and local fire department review, landscaping, and provided comment from the town engineer on drainage calculations. Project awaits resolution of secret items, no action was taken. The last meeting was the January 21st meeting. The first item on that was a sketch plan for a Circle K and Wendy's and additional potential restaurant on the corner of Nash Road and the Boulevard, part of GT's parcel. They proposed to construct a 4,625 square foot Circle K store, a 1,387 square foot Wendy's restaurant with a drive-through, an additional 1,799 square foot for additional quick serve restaurant with drive-through. The buildings would all be attached and would be accompanied by a pump fuel station. Parcel zone C1 commercial and is in the Niagara Falls Boulevard overlay district. Parcel also includes the existing GT Custom Homes buildings, so allow need to be further subdivided for this project. The planning board discussed items including parking, setbacks to residential uses, lighting, stormwater management, and vehicle and truck circulation. The applicant was advised to reach out to DOT early in the process, as they have one entrance that's from the existing turning lane on Niagara Falls Boulevard. Planning board also discussed concerns about such extensive development adjacent to the Village of Greenwood Trail project that's currently in the planning board under review. So no action was required or taken on that. Next item was a site plan discussion. Can I interrupt just a second?
This is the GT Homes property on Nash Road.
Yeah, this is the part that's right on the corner that's open right
No,
now.
I guess my concern up here, that was all witness too, is we're gonna have gas pumps and two restaurants there, is the stacking requirements, parking requirements, and access requirements.
Exactly. Those are planning board concerns that were replied back as well. They actually have the Wendy's and another potential drive-through have like a crossing, stacking and movement in the back. It looks very complex and it's almost entirely covering the parcel that they have there. So I think they're going to have to do serious revisions to their site plans. One of the things that they missed is in the Niagara Falls Boulevard overlay district. There's a 50-foot landscape buffer that's required between a commercial use and a residential use. And I'm not surprised, but I'm not sure they knew that the property behind them was being developed as the townhomes.
I'd like to see that, sketch plan, we're gonna have to go back to.
Oh,
You
sure.
remember years ago when, Tim Hortons came in on Boulevard, and we made them put a huge stacking parking, we said that was most of it, but location, because we were concerned at that time about cars sitting out on that road, or maybe on extension. So, yeah, that's, I mean, we would love to see that corner developed. I have some severe concerns about it.
I think the planning board has the same concerns. I think the message that the applicant left with was, this is an awful lot to pack in a little bit of space there. Maybe eliminating one or two of the proposed things, if it was just these stores, that's one thing, but it's even, 8 pump island out in the front of it, so it's really.
Until we see the sketch plan, just relayed from the town board, we have concerns about it also, about stacking requirements, parking, access, Boulevard Nash.
And again, this was a sketch plan. This is when they come in with their ideas and give the initial feedback, and that's what they were providing. But I could email you all a PDF of the sketch plan that they submitted.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So that was item. The next item was a site plan special use permit for, DeRizio. He proposes to construct a 6,000 square foot building at 6639 Walmore Road for commercial storage. Parcel zoned M2, it falls within the airport zone 1 overlay and within the potential impact area. The building would have 4 bays. 1 bay would be used by the owner, while the other 3 bays would be rented out. Planning board held a scheduled public hearing, and no comments were received. They then issued a negative declaration under seeker, issued the special use permit, and approved the site plan with no conditions. And the last item on their agenda was the special use permit for Paws in the Falls. The applicant returned to the planning board for their 1-year follow-up from the issuance of their original special use permit. The board determined there were no issues with the facility, no violations of original permit conditions. We then finalized the special use permit, and the applicant will not need to return to the planning board in the future unless there is a violation of the special use permit conditions. And no other action was needed for that. So that's our planning board summary. Get us all current. Any questions on anything else with that? The next item on our agenda is our 2026 GIS hosting proposal. It's pretty much it's the same fee as we had last year. It covers the data hosting and online administration services. It covers the amount that is paid directly from the town to ESRI's RTS online online subscription for actually hosting the website. And then we have a time and expense portion on there in case there's any tools that need to be developed that we find out during the summer with water, sewer, or whatever. We historically really haven't used much of that, but we like to have a little bit of time and expense money in there in case there is something that some kind of tools that are desired to be developed. So we have that proposal, and the last thing we have is also our 2026 MS4 Permit Assistance Program. Again, we are still going through the new permit conditions from the new permit from 2024. This year will be our year 3. So what our proposal covers, it covers the normal things that we have to do on an annual basis. It covers our annual report that we have to do in the spring. It covers a semi-annual report that has to be filed in October. It covers all the new year 3 items that are due as part of the permit. This year, the year 3, it focuses a lot on some additional areas that they're adding. Basically tributary areas of drains to Burkles Creek. That's an impaired water segment of the DEC, so most of our controls apply to just the MS4 area, but Burkles Creek goes out in more rural areas, so they're kind of making us look at outfalls and additional things that go to the creek outside of the urbanized areas. And it also does cover additional training for Ryan Cooper, doing our outfall inspections and standard stormwater management practice inspections. So we have that in there for your consideration. And the last item we have is not necessarily on our agenda, but we did include draft secret documents for the rezoning for your road reviews. There's one for coastal consistency confirmation from the building department, one for seeker, and one for the actual adoption of the rezoning. So if there's any questions on that, you can get motions, feel free to ask. Yeah.
Okay, no, thank you, and we have a couple motions. Other than that, we're all set, thank you. I had a question on the other thing. On the River Road where we're preparing to demolish the property, is that right above the disconnected with that?
No.
What's the timetable on that?
We have the dig ticket in.
I'm sorry?
The dig ticket's in. We could dig it any day. Today, we could have done it today, but we had a frozen water service on Lockport Road that we had to thaw out over the road.
I know that before they do the demolition,
yeah.
They have a big excavator out there right now.
Yeah, we've been in contact with Rico, RED Demolition, who's doing it. He knows what has to be done beforehand.
I mean, that'd be done this week, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, everything's ready to go. We just have to get over there, dig down. We found the box. We just have to dig down, cut it, cap it, and it's done.
Just out of curiosity, how deep's the crossing here?
It's not that deep yet because of all the snow's insulating a lot. The problem where we had with the water service this morning was in the street where there is no snow or no insulation.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Motions. Matt Brooks.
Okay, first we have, one of the motions that's been described, Wendell GIS motion to authorize Wendell to provide GIS support services during 2026 in accordance with Wendell's proposal dated January 28, 2026. At a lump sum fee of $6,100 will be paid for GIS data house hosting, ARC GIS online administration, and the ARC GIS online subscription, and a time expense budget not to exceed of $1,900 will be established for GIS GPS support and training tasks described in the proposal. Total authorization is for $8,000.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion, that's a question, it's our GIS, you don't have to go with the acronym.
Oh,
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from Wendell is, MS4 motion to describe. Motion to authorize Wendell to provide stormwater management program assistance for the year 2026 in accordance with the proposal letter dated January 28, 2026 for a time and expense estimated fee of $25,000.
So moved. Motion and a second? Excuse me, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Wendell has prepared the 2026 Wildwood Parkway area rezoning coastal consistency resolution, whereas the town of Wheatfield proposed to rezone 8 lots to the southwest corner of the town of Wheatfield, with the SBL numbers of those are as included, from commercial C1 to residential waterfront RW, and whereas the proposed rezonings are located in the local waterfront revitalization area of the town's LWRP, and therefore was referred to the town code enforcement officer for coastal consistency review, and whereas in accordance with the town of Wheatfield's waterfront consistency review law, the town code enforcement officer has reviewed the proposed rezoning and waterfront assessment form WAF and recommended to the town board that the project is consistent with the town's LWRP, and whereas the town board has reviewed this recommendation and agrees with the code enforcement officer's recommendation of coastal consistency, now therefore be resolved, the town of Wheatfield town board has determined that the proposed rezoning is consistent with the town's LWRP.
Have a motion, guys? So moved. Second. Motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from Wendell is the 2026 Wildwood Parkway area rezoning seeker negative declaration. And that's, a little bit lengthy, but, it is basically resolving that the, proposed rezoning of 8 lots will not adversely affect the natural resources of the state or the health, safety, and welfare of the public, and are consistent with the social and economic considerations, and therefore issues the attached secret negative declaration in accordance with section 617.7 of the secret regulations, and be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign the full environmental assessment form, EAF parts 1 through 3, which will act as the negative declaration, and that the required notification be completed. The rest of that is presented in the next package.
Second. Motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And the next motion is the 2026 Wildwood Parkway area rezoning approval resolution, and this has to be done via the local law. This would be known if it's passed as local law 1-2026, the 2026 Wildwood Parkway area rezoning approval resolution. And as follows, whereas the town of Wheatfield proposed to rezone 15 lots to the southwest corner of the town of Wheatfield from
commercial C1 to residential waterfront RW in conformance with the adopted LWRP, and whereas in accordance with Part 617 of the implementing regulations pertaining to Article 8 of SEQR of the Environmental Conservation Law, the Wheatfield Town Board has established itself as SEQR lead agency and has conducted a coordinated environmental review for this unlisted action, and whereas a public hearing was held regarding the proposed rezonings on January 5th, 2026, and whereas the town of Wheatfield conducted the required GML Section 239M and GLML Section 239NN mailing to Niagara County and the city of Niagara Falls, and whereas after review of the comments received from the city of Niagara Falls via the 239NN referral process and the discussions with New York State DEC, the original area proposed to be rezoned has been reduced, and only 8 of the original 15 lots will be rezoned from C1 to RW. And whereas the town board, in accordance with Part 617 of the implementing regulations pertaining to Article 8 of the State Environmental Quality Review Act of the Environmental Conservation Law, has determined that the proposed rezonings will not result in any significant impact on the environment and has issued a negative declaration. And whereas pursuant to municipal home rule law, the town board is proposing to enact a local law which proposes to amend the town zoning map as follows: rezone from commercial C1 to residential waterfront RW the following properties located on or near Wildwood Parkway, and which is SBL was contained in there. And now therefore be it resolved that the town of the Wheatfield Town Board amends the code of the town of Wheatfield, Chapter 200, zoning to provide for a change in the boundary of the zoning map whereby the zoning is changed from commercial C1 to residential waterfront for the property indicated above C attached to.
Have a motion, please. So moved. Second. Motion and second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Well, Tim, would you make sure that the zoning map is modified? We have some other changes, otherwise it's gonna get lost.
Yeah, the town GIS is our actual official zoning map, so you can update that really quickly.
No, even if we print that for people who can buy zoning maps, obviously we have to show the changes. So I appreciate it, thank you.
One follow-up, a meeting or two ago, we were talking about Wildwood Parkway or Drive, and there was some controversy there on what the name of that street was. Does anybody find out anything more?
We did talk to DOT, and they recognized that when the Greenway Trail was done, that sign was changed. There was a mistake made, and they suggested the town of Wheatfield go ahead and do the sign change because they said it could be a year before they can make it right. Just tell me what it was called. So Paul, if you get the time to change the sign over on Wildwood.
Get on there. Cause the state does so much for me, I like to help them out, yeah.
What was that, Paul?
Cause the state does so much for me, yeah, I'd really like to help them out.
Anyway, that's the history of the sign. Thank you.
Okay, and speaking of, fall back to the motion from the Highway Department, to resolve to approve and authorize the request of Falls Signature Superintendent of the Highway Department to purchase a new Volvo Loader L110H long boom on Sourcewell contract number 011723 DCE from Ultimate Construction Equipment. Unit will have a JRB coupler that is compatible with the current accessories. The cost is $297,891 and will be bought on a 5-year program with the balance being paid with a 5-year installment purchase contract. The 2026 budget includes $60,000 in the sewer pump drainage equipment account to be used as an estimated amount of down payment. Said installment payments will be included in the sewer pump budget for 2027 to 2031, and then be it further resolved, and this is for the board to decide to purchase or to not purchase the optional 3-year extended bumper warranty available for $8,043.
Paul, can I ask you about that?
So, the frame this lifetime warranty, which I don't know how you can break a frame on a loader, but I'm sure it happens. These things got so many computers on them, it's all warranted for 1 year, and that's it. And I'm sure one computer going out on this loader would probably cost us probably $8,000. It's up to you guys, because I only budgeted $300,000 for this loader. So I mean, it's going above what I had budgeted for it. If you don't want to get it, I understand. I'm really leery because everything's got so much junk on it now, computer stuff, and this stuff and all this other stuff that I almost think it's worth to get the warranty.
Any thoughts, Jens, on this?
Hey, that's fine. You did recoup some money from Options International. Did you have that spent already, or should we use some of that money to pay for this?
Sure.
Okay, I'll do it. Brandon, any thoughts?
I think, okay, good idea. I had a 1 year warranty on the vehicle I just bought, a year and a half old, and it's $3,000. So I would say do it. Because, it doesn't take long in the shop to get a electrical part or a labor, and you're at $3,000.
Paul, I have a question. It says, it's a 3-year, is that on top of the 1 year that comes? standard?
Basically, yeah.
Or maybe 4 years?
Yeah.
And that covers everything.
Bumper to bumper.
Okay. All right, so we make a motion.
I have a question. Why is it off the sewer? You're getting this for a highway. Why are we using the sewer?
We have money and we kind of split it up. We do that every year as part of the budget, sewer and highway.
Years ago, there was a special fund started for drainage, when we had a lot of drainage problems, and that's how it was financed.
Okay. So my motion is to purchase, and cross out the word not. Yes. Yes.
I have a motion, I have a second, please.
I'll second that.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Next motion from the Constable Department, resolved to accept the resignation of John Hatch as the town constable effective January 21st, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
And a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from the Constable Department to accept the resignation of Karen Brantley as the town constable effective January 20th, 2026.
Second.
All motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the town board resolved to appoint Matthew F. Psyche as a member of the town of Weeville zoning board of appeals effective immediately.
Second.
And a motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the town board resolved, resolution to accept the lowest bid of Regional Environmental Demolition Inc. for the demolition of 6993 Ward Road, unsafe structure, in the amount of $22,550.
So moved. Second. Motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Tim, while you're here, is the utilities and sewer going to be disconnected on this place on board?
No, I've heard of what's being done, but no, everything's still connected over there as far as I know.
I don't know, who was the recipient of that bid?
Regional Environmental Demolition.
Yeah, they're the same company doing River Road.
Yes.
But they should be made aware that the utilities have not been disconnected.
Yeah, unless this was a miscommunication with the building department, unless Mark knows about it. I'll ask him tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, next motion, resolved to authorize the supervisor to sign a quitclaim deed regarding the property the town has no interest in, approximately 1 foot wide along the northerly edge of Benson Road, and the town's right of way to fight any potential title issues to the property to the north. This is at no expense to the town, and only legally states we have any potential interest in said property, which we either own or want, and I have run this by Paul, he's aware, and, has no objection to the
Move that.
Well, second. Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion, from the Department resolved to approve the attendance of the Highway Department Superintendent Paul Seaman to attend Advocacy Day in Albany, New York, March 3rd through March 4th, 2026, and the respective night of accommodation and all other costs associated with attendance.
Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Next motion, again, from the Highway Department resolved to issue a permit to allow St. Johnsburg Fire Company to hold a parade on July 31st, 2026, and close Kruger Road from Norman Road to Ward Road from approximately 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for St. Johnsburg Fire Company's 100th anniversary parade. Said permit does not apply to any state or county roads.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And that's it for motions.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, board members. Right, Elway. Anything else?
Adams Fire Hall would like to move Brandon Hall, Brandon Deron, and David Deron to active under the roster. And I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
That's it.
Randy, have it?
I have nothing.
And I have nothing. One thing is just, if you're talking about funds, you're aware that over on 102nd Street, Wheatfield has a lot over there? Do me a favor, Kelly showed us to me the other day, we got a call, and we looked it up on the tax maps, Kelly and I did, and there is a lot on 102nd Street that we own. And this gentleman that called was interested in buying it, and at the time I wasn't aware we owned it. You guys aware of that? So anyway, I don't know if something we'll have to talk about, is something, sorry, there's a lot.
And it's something with the love canal.
What's that, yeah?
Didn't it butt up against the love canal something?
Here. I guess I didn't realize we had a lot there. Something more to talk about. Okay, thank you. That's all I got. Next meeting is February 23rd, bill pay only. And our next regular board meeting will be March 2nd. We have a motion to adjourn. And all in favor, signify by saying aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Mr. Stefanski, for coming.
Anytime, sir. This whole parcel is from, and one lot, and it's like, no, it's not, it's right on 102nd. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Yeah, but then there's a huge parcel, this whole thing.
Yeah,
So it's a little lot, a big parcel that starts to. Hey, Randy. Yeah, picture to show you. Happy birthday, Kelly.
Hey, Paul.
Happy birthday. Yes, my camera, a year and a half old. All of a sudden, the lights wouldn't shut off.
Yeah, something like.
First signals were flashing at dash, and out of the truck.
But I
And then
never
both of the rear
gotten any
temperature
gas
sensors.
bill by
A year and a half old, right? I got 5 years on the engine, so my mechanic said, get 5 years, Randy, you go in the shop for. Right. But I didn't get 5 years on the body and all that, so mid-body electrical module, $950, and I just don't even know what the labor, I picked it up that,